Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson, with more than 2 decades in sales. I've seen it, lived it, heard about it, and now I'm here bringing it to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community, because here's what I know. Sales is literally the greatest industry on the planet. It gives us so much opportunity for growth, so much opportunity to earn a living, and it gives us some pretty crazy freaking stories to share. And today's guest, certainly no stranger to crazy stories. He is the owner of Iconic Exteriors and one of my personal friends. I'd like you to welcome my friend, Mr. Jeff Merkle. What's up, bro?
What's happening?
Just out here crushing the day, man. I know you're in between some installs, so I'm grateful for you finding a chance to be here with us and take part in this show. More than anything, man, I want to get right into it because you told me about some stories that you've got, and I know our people are going to love it. So let's get after it, man. Tell us some crazy stories.
Well, I'm not going to lie, man. Being in home services, you see some of the most random shit in the world. Well, I started out my career in San Diego, and me being a prior Marine, that was kind of my in with the military community because I would always they'd request me because I was a prior Marine, and got called out to a very very much retired because he was in Vietnam. I believe he was a staff sergeant when he got out or something like that. But I'm in his garage. We're over here bullshitting about different things, and I see this little short Asian dude across the court just come out creeping, and it was kind of weird, but whatever. It just is what it is. So after about 10 minutes of me talking to the homeowner and watching this guy, and I was like, hey, man, I got to ask, what's going on with the guy across the street? He goes, oh, bro, yeah. So I was in Vietnam. So was he. But he was Viet Cong. That's the bad guy. You want to see something funny? I was like,
what?
No. This dude walked over to his entry into the house, grabs a broom, puts it up into his shoulder, and starts walking out towards the Viet Cong guy. The Viet Cong guy spots him, drops to the floor, and low crawls under his car, and then they proceed to play war in the court.
What the fuck?
The Viet Cong dude is having fucking flashbacks, and this fucking Marine, because he's a Marine, is fucking with people and having this guy have flashbacks, and I'm like, what is going on? It was probably one of the wildest 5 to 10 minutes of interaction where I'm just, dude, I wish I had popcorn. If there was a meme, I would have been like, because that shit was so fucking awesome, dude.
I can't even imagine the idea of like sitting in a where you're working with a client, you're having a conversation, and all of a sudden you got to be aware, right? As a military guy, I'm sure you're always aware of most of the things going on around you, and you're watching this dude creeping, and you don't know because he may be trying to break into your truck or whatever. But I can't imagine somebody saying, oh, watch this shit, and fucking pulling a broom and playing fake war with a dude and sending him off into PTSD'sville. What in the world, man? And good on you.
But see, this is one of those things where it's like you would expect a hold my beer statement and watch this. No. This is 9 a.m. This is not a fucking 5 o'clock drink a beer and go fuck the guy down the street. This is 9 a.m. and they're playing war in a court, and these guys are like fucking 80. It was wild. Fun, funny, wild.
One of the things that I've really enjoyed talking with home service guys is some of these wild stories of, when you're going to the doors and you're going out and meeting people at their home, some crazy stuff happens. And there was another story that you mentioned, a recent one where you had, gone out here locally and, thank goodness there's no HR in home services when you're on the job because, man, I can only imagine that some of the stories I've heard, and this one you're going to tell us next is right up there. So go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to do one more before that one. This one's really quick. This is also back in San Diego. Got a call out. Guy had a broken garage or whatever. I go knock on the door, and this dude, he's easily Easily 350. Easily. Answers the door with one of those hairless cats like Dr. Evil in his hand and a pair of tidy whities, and that was it. And he said, the garage is over here, follow me. I was like, I'd prefer not to, but okay. The story that you actually brought up was here in DFW. I'm not going to mention a town. This dude was, how we say, lighter in the loafers, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. So,
politically correct.
Calls me in, and I figured out the problem. I'm working on his garage, and he comes up behind me, and I mean, 5'6", 5'8", maybe, 125 pounds, maybe. And he goes, hey, man, you married? Yeah. And I show him my ring. He goes, happily? Yes. We'll see. I said, say what? We'll see. I'm already on edge, knowing I'm about to get raped by this little 5'6" nothing type of guy, and trying to figure out how I'm going to hurry up and fix the garage, get paid, and get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. Hear a knock on the door, and his neighbor comes over, who plays for the other team as well, but they're bestie friends. You see what I'm saying? So they play off of each other. And she's like, you're not messing with this boy, are you? And he's like, just a little bit. And they're bantering back and forth. I'm like, gotta get the fuck out of here. So after everything was done, you kind of got to see it. So he asked for a business card, and I hand him the business card like this. Okay? His hand. Thanks. I'll call you.
All up in it.
I'm out. I am fucking out. So this is when I was working for my other company before I started my own. And I call the office. And it's full of office girls. I mean, early 20s-ish, mid-20s. One of the girls answers the door or answers the phone. And I was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and red flag this customer. We're never coming back here again, ever. And she's like, well, what happened? And I was like, I explained the whole story. And I was like, I was hand raped with no lube. It was just dry. It was dry as fuck, like he was just going in hard. She started laughing so hard. And I was like, Bridget, this is not funny at all. And she goes, oh, no, it's fucking funny. And I'm glad we're on a recorded line because I'm telling everybody. So, yeah, home services, yeah, got to watch your back.
It's,
I guess, kind of.
It's an interesting industry, man. It's one of those things where people in public are already kind of fucking weird. Like, you go out in public, you see some weird stuff. But when you go to someone's home and you're in their, quote, like, their comfort zone, the stories that we've been hearing, the shit that has been coming out is bananas. And I know that, like, we're 20, 30 episodes in at this point, and so we're still kind of getting our feel for, like, how crazy some of the stories are. And yours is up there. But, Jeff, what I really appreciate about you, sir, is that, as a former military guy, you really focus on helping other, veterans get involved with your business and helping put them on for an opportunity, which, like, shout out to you, man. That's an amazing thing that I've personally witnessed, you doing, and I've had some of your team at my house helping set things up, which, dude, they were amazing. I'd love to know, coming from, a military background and then getting into sales, is there anything that you brought from that to the sales world, or is there anything that you would consider to be like kind of your superpower when it comes to sales?
You know what, dude? Honestly, I don't think it's much of a superpower than it is just paying attention. DFW is the hail capital of the United States. So we have nonstop roofers everywhere. But what a lot of the roofers don't think about is when they got the hail damaged garage doors, let's not just replace it with that same white or almond, same that everyone's got. If you're going to change the roof color and do some gutters and maybe paint something, why not change out the garage door for a color that ties everything together and it's just a big old facelift on the house? I've been very successful by actually working with roofing companies, explaining how I go in and I do a like for like bid. And then, what do you want, sir? What would be your dream garage door? Because you already have $2,000 from the insurance company. So that's $2,000 free going straight to your garage door let's throw something else at it and add some windows, maybe some insulation, because it's the weirdest thing to me when coming out here that the 90% of these garage doors out here aren't insulated at all. It gets cold as fuck and hot as fuck.
It does get cold.
Dude, it's stupid. But if you could actually help your client and explain that if we insulated your door, it'd help with your heating and cooling costs, and it'd also be a facelift on your home, and you've already got money invested coming through the insurance company, why? It's a no-brainer. The downside is, and again, I completely understand, roofing is a turn and burn. I need that roof on immediately so I can get paid so I can move on to the next one. With garage doors, if they do a special something, it takes time for it to come in because they're not going to stock some wood grain, steel back insulated. It's not just going to be sitting at the DC. So we kind of got to work with that roofing company, explain, hey, they want to do the special. It's going to take a little bit longer, so you're going to have to space it out a little bit. Like I said, it's not really a superpower. It's your garage door doesn't work, let's fix it. Your garage door's ugly, let's replace it. I kind of put the ball in their court, so it's not even really sales.
It's interesting. Well, and I appreciate that your thought process is very much about, hey, if you're already doing the thing, why would we not also give them an opportunity to add on the thing that they want with it? That's like a sales. I mean, everyone in sales should be thinking about, hey, not how can I just get this sale, but how can I get the ancillary sales and add-ons and the little bonus things? Because it's not just about the extra sale for the money. Yeah, you're going to make more commissions from that. But when you're truly getting the client what they want, helping them solve their problem, get out of that pain, whether, the door doesn't work or it looks like shit because it's old, or you're giving them the pleasure of, hey, you're going to have this whole new roof and gutters. Don't let your garage door be an eyesore because it was the one thing that you didn't fix at the same time. It is ultimately coming back to the customer. And it's giving them the choice to say, no, I don't want the thing, or yes, I would love that thing, as a matter of fact. Thank you for telling me. And so many sales professionals miss that opportunity because they're only thinking about the one sale, the right now. And I love that that's your mentality. And again, I've had the pleasure of watching you in your business for the last couple of years, Jeff. So I know that the education for the roofing community and for the general contractors is big for you because they don't understand it. And you're truly here trying to help. And that's another reason this show exists, why I love the sales community, because when you're in the right room with the right people, they'll give you the game. They'll tell you, hey, man, this is what I'm doing that's working. Here's what I did that didn't work so that you don't go waste your fucking time and energy on it. Because, money's easy. We know how to make money. But if you're wasting time and energy, you can't get that back. And so, man, I really do appreciate you taking some time out of your day to be here with us. Like I said, I know you're in between installs. You're out there putting in the work, building a business. With that said, if someone's in the DFW area, we have a lot of clients, we have a lot of listeners here. Maybe they own a roofing company and they want to know, if they're not in DFW, maybe they just want to know how they can get connected with a garage door guy and add that in, maybe make a little bit. What's the best way for them to find you and kind of learn about how you educate the community on this stuff?
Well, I'm definitely all over the socials, so you can always hit me up anywhere through there. My messenger's always plinging away. I almost want to throw my phone in the fucking. Anyway, yeah. You can. I mean, hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on through Messenger. You can call me 817-374-3946 if you want to focus in on that bad boy right there. Is that backwards? 100% backwards, but fuck it. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly,
it might be. We'll fix it all. We'll put it in the show notes. All good.
I'm sure of it. For the roofing companies out there, I will actually, if you have a sales team, I will come out and educate you guys. I'll bring samples. I'll show you what I do, how I do it. The entire process takes me about 15 minutes, and that way your team has more weapons in their tool belt. If you're a one-man show, you can come to my shop, or I can come to you, or if you got a door that's sold, I will meet you at the job and we'll upsell the client right there.
Come on. Well, man, that's one of the things that I, again, really appreciate you, Jeff, is that you go above and beyond. You're always willing to help. You're willing to show up and do whatever it takes because you do care about the client getting the right thing. I've seen you go out and take 100%. Care of business after people screwed up someone else's job. You do above and beyond. Again, you've personally come to my house and helped me, man. So, I got nothing but good things to say about you and your team. And with that said, man, I know there's always new sales professionals coming on the scene. Maybe they're getting into selling garage doors. Maybe they're getting into selling whatever. if you could give that new professional like one piece of advice on how to be successful in sales, what would you say that would be?
The client you're at right now, that's your only client until you're done with that client. Do not race off to your next job, because the moment they feel like you haven't taken care of them, they're calling somebody else.
Ooh, damn, that's good, man. And I've had a lot of episodes, and that's the first time someone's ever put it like that. Like, be in the moment, be present with your current client, and know that that's the important thing. I love that, Jeff. I love the idea of closing that loop and getting that task finished before moving on, man. And I can personally say I know I've been that dude that's left the scene too early and lost a client, and I've also been the guy who someone's left hanging. And man, is that a powerful piece of advice. So thank you for that. More than anything, man, I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to be here with us. I know you're busy. I know you're running and gunning. But again, I'm glad that you could be here, A, because you had some great stories to tell with us. So I appreciate that. But B, I know you bring a different perspective to the home services industries that not everybody does. And, you know, for someone that's a veteran and is focused on helping veterans and truly just helping people, I'm glad that I had an opportunity to bring you on and share some of those stories, man. So before we get out of here, you got any last words for folks?
Nah, man. Just, you know, we're going into 2024. We're only 3 days in. Just fucking crush the day, man. Crush every day like it owes you money.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Well, you guys heard the man. If you got some value out of this show, if you enjoyed some stories, make sure you share this out on the socials. Tag us at Call the Damn Leads, at Iconic Exteriors. Find my man Jeff Merkle on social media. He's out there. He's putting in the work just like you are. And again, if you have a story, if you've got something crazy that, you know, some kind of experience you'd like the world to know about, names or not, that's totally fine. Go over to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Submit your information. I'd love to bring you on the show. Love to support your story and your journey. And as always, you guys know what it is. Get out there, call the damn leads. We'll see you on the next one.